Hello everyone, this is Palladian Star Healer bringing you this week's What the Fuck forecast. For those who are just tuning into my What the Fuck forecast, I go over the current What the Fuck energy, the hidden energy behind it, the lesson or purpose, and how you can turn those What the Fuck moments into a blessing. So this week I'm using Beyond Lumeria deck. It's a very beautiful deck. I'm going to leave my information in the description box for those who want to follow me and my other platforms. So we're going to begin. So what is the current What the Fuck energy? And we have here, it's the radical expression. Okay, very interesting. So I feel the energies right now is very intense, right? I mean, you will have to be literally oblivious to not see how intense things are right now. And I feel like these energies are causing everyone to break out of the mode. You know, perhaps, there's like authoritative figures, like parents or, people who hold authority in your life. They're probably really undermining you, or you feel pressured by them, or you have spent a long time with these people where you always felt like you were silenced by them. Relationships are probably becoming very suffocating because, like, deep down, you want to break out. There comes a time where their inner self just wants to break out that prison, So I feel like there are events that are forcing us to break free. Breaking free of either self-imposed limitations, or even allowing others to imprison us. Perhaps there are people who really make you doubt, your ability to progress. People who disempower you, So I feel like the energies are really, all this intense energy is really encouraging you to raise your voice, because when the universe wants you to do something, it gives you the opposite. So if you're facing people who want to silence, your beliefs, what you really feel, what you really think, you're going to stumble across people who are going to oppress you in some way. And that's when you need to speak up. So that's what's happening right now. And I feel like even society-wise, there's a lot of, back and forth, with how people think and their opinions. And so it's like everything is building up, So this is like asking you, like your soul is saying, I want to break free already. I want to unwind, because you see the dragon is trying to unwind, and it's like in a circular motion, So it's asking you to step outside, and really step outside the ideas of what people want on you, people who are imposing their ideas and, and basically forcing you to do things that you don't want to do, and if there are things that you want to do, this is a perfect time to really think about what you want out of life, because there is a lot of intense energy happening right now. So let's see what's next here. So then we have, what is the hidden energy behind the radical expansion? Let's see what we have. And we have here vulnerability. A very pretty card too. So let's see how I feel about this. Well, I mean, if you think of it, vulnerability, that has to do with a lot of like teaching you self-acceptance and to lower, your defensive so you can expand, because being vulnerable allows you to understand what you truly want. So that really goes with the radical expansion, because the energy is trying to force you to expand, but you can't expand if you don't really know what you want. So there has to be some type of vulnerability, being open to understanding our shadow, because the radical expansion, especially if you don't like change, if change is hard for you, it can make you feel very, very uncomfortable, So the hidden energy behind the radical expansion is feeling comfortable in discomfort. to process our feelings, to expand, to go deeper, to go to the base, to expand after great healing, and most importantly, honesty, like the raw truth, really, really going deep down, like, what do you want? Like, perhaps you want to move on from a relationship or job or any type of oppressive situation you find yourself in. But how are you going to get out of that? So you really need to think about, like, pushing everybody's thoughts to the side, what people think you should do. What is it that you want? And that requires vulnerability with yourself, to not be afraid, of that intimacy with your own self. So the hidden energy behind this radical expansion is the ability to be vulnerable. Because also with vulnerability, you are also going to be allowed to hold yourself accountable and hold others accountable as well. Okay, so then we have, what is the lesson or purpose behind this crazy intense energy of radical expansion? And we have, it's kind of blurry. Yeah, here we go. So we have shine your light. Very pretty card as well. So shine your light. So what is the purpose, right? What's the lesson of all this pressure that you're receiving from authoritative figures, from society, from probably even yourself, pressuring you to leave that comfort, that habit that you become so accustomed to? So the lesson and purpose of this is to be the best that you can be, and doing what you love, perhaps, because that has to do with expanding. So if there's things that you will love to do, but there are people in your way, or even self-imposed, I lost my train of thought, self-imposed beliefs, is pushing you, to take that step, to love life and enjoy life to its fullest potential. And possibly through your action, with your conquering of the self, you're teaching others by reflecting the joy you have within, and and showing it, reflecting it outside, and people will take, that as an example and say, wow, like this person, maybe even if they don't know what it took for you to actually make that step forward, perhaps it took so much, it was emotionally, mentally exhausting. But when you shine bright, people don't really know what it took to get there, but that's not the point. The point is to reflect, to show others that it's possible to shine at your brightest. And also I feel like this has to do with, putting yourself first, that is not selfish to cut those who disempower you, to those who, oppress you in some way, mentally, emotionally, and to really want to live authentically, because there are a lot of culture and beliefs, that sort of make people feel like it's so wrong to put your needs before others, but it really isn't. We need to take care of ourselves, so I feel like this also has to do shining your light, allowing your vibration to rise to a higher octave, because when you burst out, like you expand, you shine so brightly, and that kind of vibration, it rises and it brings, good things to your life, and also I feel like this has to do with being okay with growing, because we can always say, I want to grow. But when it's time to do the work, like for example, like the vulnerability, it can be really difficult. So it's like you have to be okay with growing, and you have to be okay with doing the work. That is not an overnight process. It's a journey, and to do what you want to do and not what others want. And that's how you can live the most authentic way possible. It's doing healthy things, that you want, without worrying about what others feel you should do. Okay, so that is the purpose of this radical expansion, shining bright, and lighting the way, not just for yourself, but for others, because there will be people, even if they don't tell you, but there will be people who are watching you, watching your journey, your process. And inside, they will be like, why can't I be like them? And perhaps it'll even inspire them also to shine their light. Okay. So then we have the last card, and that is how to turn your what the fuck into a blessing. All right. So let's see. The last card here we have. Oh, beautiful. Oh, surrender. These cards are absolutely incredible. I am beyond impressed. So surrender. So let me see how I feel. Because if we're taking, radical expansion into consideration, I feel like when we're under pressure, we have to surrender what we expect to happen. And to surrender what we feel is supposed to happen, and to let what is meant to happen. Okay, because we all suffer from expectations, and we plan things out, especially when it comes to expanding ourselves. We plan, bit by bit, but life really does not work that way. We all know that. It's never a straight line. It's always like roller coaster. So when you surrender, you allow your reality to display signs of synchronicity. I feel like this will help you decide what you need to do next. And at times allowing also for opportunities to occur. Because when you surrender and it's almost like, as you see her, she's upside down, but her arms are open, her chest is out, and that is the gesture of receiving. So being open to receiving what is truly yours, and not what you think is supposed to be yours, but what really is yours. And I feel like this also can go with working on feelings of unworthiness or undeserving, because there are times where we feel like we don't deserve happiness, or we don't deserve good things. Even if we know personally that we're good people, we may feel like, I don't deserve that, so we need to work on that. And I feel like also the most important thing, especially when I'm doing like Reiki, I always tell my clients, to give themselves permission. So I feel like this is about not only not needing permission from others, but also giving yourself permission to flourish. Or as we said before, to radically expand. Give yourself that permission. You don't always need permission from others, because they are going to be people who are going to be like, no, don't do that, So really, they're like second, Give yourself permission to expand, to shine, to be all that you can be, the best version of yourself that you can be, to become one with your higher self, to reach that level to your higher self. Okay? So that is this week's What the Fuck forecast. I hope that you found it insightful. I hope that you enjoyed it. So please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and to join my other social media platforms. I hope you guys take care. And again, my name is Palladian Star Healer, and I will see you guys next week.